Greetings everyone, and Great here from another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the north side or the left side as the Jade Sun Jess, we've got Jonrarara. I butchered that name well enough. Spelled on the right side as the Blue Moon Grimm. We have Elmerlino. I butchered that name well enough. This is a 2-base map, so it's going to be more heavy battle copters. Probably a bit more favored towards Grimm. Of course, Grimm is a CO who likes to have trouble with moving COs, so I think Jess will do quite well versus Grimm because of the power and superpower both fighting +1 and +2 range, with of course additional firepower. So this is going to be fair, most matchups are bad for Grimm, but I think it won't be great for him. Do have a recon there. Both sides have a comm tower that's free for them. Tank there, infantry unit there. Another tank there. So both sides of the tank. Will Grimm send his tank to fight the tank, or will it be sent to this? Just centerwards. It can go north or south, but probably go west rather than east. Artillery and infantry. Yep, I saw I had a Grimm match in my games. How I find replays is I just go to the mostly globally, because I think global games tend to be a bit better since they don't have to rely on the pressure aspect and they could be a bit more longer, prolonged. I just start going through like the top 50 players, finding games that may go for a decent length, favorite it, and when they get completed, cast it. Of course, if you guys have any replays for me, just simply send me a link of the replay number, and we'll just simply, and I'll cast it when I have next live stream. That was like a pretty good hit there. Grimm shouldn't really probably let that tank be so exposed like that. Grimm is a CO you basically have to play on point. You have no walling potential as Grimm. You have to punch your opponent in the face, but you can't be taking punch. It may be like the brawler CO in a design as a CO himself, but he is not meant for brawling. This tank will probably be nuked next turn, but it'll be second battle copter to that, so it's probably not a good trade. Tank the center as well. He won't be able to range this tank there. He'll need to hit this infantry unit twice, and there's nothing nearby to hit it twice. Well, I'll leave that up to you. 1200 is not too terrible, since the starting out level is what, 700 or 700, 800? So 1200 is definitely a good ranking, I'll say. A lot of properties over there. Lots of properties captured. 17,000 for 16,000. Tank will strike tank. So yeah, taking a lot too many free shots there. I think it's a good case of how not to play Grimm, honestly. Not be able to strike that anti-air of either of these tanks either to allow the battlecopter free reign. And this anti-air will provide this much coverage, so can't strike the battlecopter here or in the infantry unit. Maybe we'll attack this infantry unit there, but that's about it. Battlecopter, tank. ATO does pull back. Paul just has enough coverage to protect all of his forces. Very good. I also keeping well out of range of these tanks. Now, if Grimm wants to push forward his battlecopters, hit some of these units there, he will basically to prevent the ATR from going down south. So probably taking out the tank and then perhaps putting a unit on top of the city. So his battlecopters can strike some targets down south. But we've got another ATR, but it does have a bit of time before gauge. Let's see, he has 2 tanks to push forward with. He will not be able to strike this tank there. So yeah, he probably may need to tap this tank and then hit and put a tank on top of the city there, and that's basically it. Let the battlecopters finish off the artillery. Overall, not been too impressed by Grimm's placement overall so far this game. Knuckle does deploy on the field, giving him even more firepower to work with. He's able to really break through walls now. Battlecopter takes out Battlecopter, that's perfectly fine. Artillery gets knocked out there. Using Trina to strike the tank twice. Does not take it out there. He managed not taking any damage in return, but still can take a shot in return to put it down to 9 and interrupt any captures. 4 tanks there. This Battlecopter is loose out of range of the anti-airs. This one is definitely going down to either one. Oh, we do now the overcharge or turbocharge there. Strikes the tank there. Finish off the tank there. Hits the infantry unit there. Finishes it off with 2 low infantry unit there. Wounds that one. Tank. And resupply. And surf 72,000. Grimm starts turn 63. So technically Grimm will, with a day-to-day income, will have more value. Does hit that tank twice. Battlecopter push way forward, so that Battlecopters will take a... will probably take a good hit there from the anti-air, what's left of it. After the city there, another Battlecopter. Tank and infantry. 4,000 funds to bank. Does lose a get hit there. Interrupts the capture, hits that tank there. Losing a little bit too many tanks there. Still has a tank perhaps nearby to take out the anti-airs. If he take out the anti-airs, then the Battlecopter is going to reign supreme. That's probably the high priority target for him. Takes out that tank there. So yeah, probably pushing forward this tank to hit this anti-air. Had 2 elf tank take out this anti-air. Still a good number of tanks up here. Takes out a tank there, hits that infantry unit there. Machine guns down the anti-air there. This Battlecopter strike this tank there. We do have a turbocharge available. And 3rd Battlecopter push away forward in the center. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. And now got another turbocharge activated. Don't need too much extra firepower to deal with Grimm units, but the extra mobility, if she needs a superpower, could be nice. Her superpower should only be viewed as mobility. She probably should be relying more on her power. She doesn't need much more. Knuckle Duster. Grimm doesn't really need much more firepower either, so this is going to be a power game. A fire power game. More so. That pun was so horrible, it's somewhat accurate. Hits that tank there, hits this tank there. This infantry unit should probably get on top of that forest there. Does to save the anti-air, the battlecross from this anti-air. Though right now, this anti-air can simply go all the way around and strike this Battlecopter, even without the power. Tank, Battlecopter, infantry. Decides to just go straight through the line there. Interrupts the capture. 70,000 for 16,000 income. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. While just as Battlecopters do has 10% less firepower, does a combat make it 0%, but against Grimm, with minus 20% defense, doesn't really matter. Interrupts the capture again. Stops that capture. Hits the anti-air. Takes on the anti-air, takes out the tank. Machine guns that tank a little bit there. Another Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. I would better go for tank right there, honestly, but maybe once it's an infantry unit up north. Capturing the last despicable neutral property. Battlecopter goes down. Battlecopter infantry. Hits the anti-air twice, hits that units there. And there's no more anti-air left in the field, so Jess is starting to take some pretty big losses right now. She has a good number of Battlecopters for herself, though. Grimm goes to anti-air. pops the turbocharge, which will not affect the battlecopters, at least without the natural +10/+10. Meteor tank. And turn, very short turn there. 13 units for 16 units. Interrupts the capture. T-copter. Maybe he's going to try to go for HQ capture. Grimm is doing very well, but that can easily change with a couple bad plays. Does pick up a tank there. Since his units just disintegrate pretty quickly, it can easily change very quickly. 79,000 versus 86, so Grimm has about 1 turn advantage. Meteor takes out the battlecopter. Of course, that means he will lose his property. T-copter moved over there, capture this property, but that can be interrupted by Meteor and or battlecopter. But that could be good bait for the tanks and battlecopters to counterattack. Oh, immediately pops the turbocharge at the start of our turn. Meteor go for the battlecopter. His tank is actually out of range. Grimm sort of lack proper escort down south. He tries to capture there. Grimm can take out the battlecopter with his own battlecopter, but the Meteor is going to reign supreme. Takes out those units there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Pops the full haymaker. That puts firepower up to what? Like plus 80%, right? Increase all units' attack power to 80%. Will not one-shot that unit there. Battlecopter take out battlecopter. Capture some property there. T-copter can probably get right there to swallow the property captures. Probably a good idea. Nope, want to save the T-copter. Tank is out of range, even against the black boat. Battlecopter. Another tank. And infantry. Meteor goes for the battlecopter, so this property will be flipped. It's a tank there. It's that tank up there. Yeah, Grimm's taking a lot of free hits there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Grimm's value leads about a half turn advantage. There's nothing too significant anymore. Battlecopter, anti-air, and infantry. Stop that unit down south. That proc does get captured. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Good shot there on that tank. Of course, this battlecopter will be going down to this battlecopter. Does have more battlecopters reserved. Infantry, infantry. Good hit there on the battlecopter. Tanks out of range the anti-air though. And they've got more tanks. Yeah, right now Jess feels like she's starting to steamroll. She has 5 tanks, 5 battlecopters versus 4 battlecopters, 4 tanks. Does pick up a tank there, but the battlecopter is going to cause some issues. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Does pop the turbocharge. Strikes that tank there and does take it out, or does not. Takes out that tank there. Now the battlecopter is still in range of another tank. Anti-air take out infantry there. Tank will strike the tank. Grimm's taking some severe losses this turn. Everything's being struck. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Pops the knuckle duster. Will one-shot that battlecopter. Battlecopter strike tank there. It's a lot of good targets there. Good enough battlecopter's going down for Jess. Resupplies that tank there. Hits that tank there for a good amount of damage. Tank, tank. There's another battlecopter down south. Lose another battlecopter gets struck. Anti-air gets knocked out there. tank infantry, and another battlecopter. Nearly lost that tank there. Anti-air tank. Battlecopter up north. Good strike there on that tank. T-copter pushing infantry unit up north. Interrupts this capture down south. But this with power that the battlecopter could go down. If not, just any of the anti-air down south would basically get a trap there. Since anti-airs and battlecopters the same movement range, it could easily be trapped. Battlecopter can't escape this way. It can try running up north, but looks like, yeah, that battlecopter will be going down next turn, regardless where it moves. Got trapped by this infantry unit, as well as this anti-air. Takes out that infantry unit one hit. Takes out that battlecopter there. Takes out that battlecopter there. True. He is considered bottom-rated tier CO. And you have to be incredibly skilled to use Grimm. Simply you have to avoid taking any hits. And then just get the and you have to get the first strike stun. You have no mobility bonuses, you know, to do that. Oh, and the game appears to be over. Let's see. Yep, looks like Grimm did in fact went ahead and surrender. This is Great saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay.